Man, there's been a lot of cars getting on the roof lately.
Right behind Mike Wallace.
Stay in front of you. Stay up, stay up. Easy, back it down as much as you can.
Wow, that's not what you want to see out of your windshield.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, I'm okay.
Scott Riggs' most memorable moment in his NASCAR career was this flip at Talladega in 2005. This is really sad considering that Scott Riggs was one of the more notable up-and-comers in NASCAR in the early 2000s. To put it like this, Scott Riggs was a late bloomer. He would have to wait until he was just 30 years old to get his first full-time opportunity driving in the Truck Series for Ultra Motorsports. He would go on to have a spectacular season. His 2001 Truck Series stats are this: 5 wins, 14 top 5s, 16 top 10s, an average finish of 9th place, and would finish 5th in the standings. After Jeff Green left PPC Racing to go join Richard Childress in the Cup Series in 2002, that would be Scott Riggs' next lucky break, as he would take over the ride full-time in 2002 and 2003. His 2002 Busch Series stats are this: 2 wins, 8 top 5s, 13 top 10s, 2 poles, an average finish of 16.7, and would finish 10th. In 2003, he would improve with 2 wins, 11 top 5s, 17 top 10s, an average finish of 12.9, and would finish 6th in the standings. So heading into the 2004 season, it was announced that Scott Riggs was going to drive full-time in the Nextel Cup Series for NB2 Motorsports. In my opinion, NB2 wasn't the best team, but they weren't the worst team either. He would have veteran help with Joe Nemechek as a teammate, and both him and the team looked to improve for many years together. Well, instead, in his 2 years there, they would do nothing but regress.
Over on its roof. And when you're in a situation like that, you are just a passenger, especially when these cars start turning each other. Here you see, looks like Johnny Sauter slid up in the 30 car into Brian Vickers in the 25. A chain reaction.
Yes, that's Michael Tuckett. Yeah.
And Biffle, the pole sitter, looks like he barely got through there.
So you see the tire come off of Michael's car, then it got into that grass softened by the rain, and it just dug in, just like we saw Ryan Newman's last year, and sent the car over.
There's Harvick, Kevin LePage, Johnny Benson.
And a big list. Wow.
Man,
involved in this accident.
Yeah, Scott Riggs got himself turned around and up into the fence. And Riggs was running laps about 1570. He's only a 10th behind the fastest cars. And you see a little mark on the right front.
Whoops. Tony Stewart's got numbers going around here.
I'll help you here. Let's see.
Now then.
Now let's show you what happened.
You have right front damage and left rear damage. Tony had a run on him. That's classic Bristol. You get a nose along the side of the guy. You expect him to give you room. You think he knows you're there. But after all, we're just practicing.
Okay, this would be a shooting foul.
I'm up beside of you, you know, man. I don't know. That's a no call.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we can say Riggs did this. We can say Tony Stewart's car bobbled. It may have bobbled a little bit, but you know, right there, it's Bristol. We said it in the beginning.
If you see Tony's car, Tony got on the brakes really hard. You see how his car kind of swerved just a little bit? Uh-oh. Ruh-roh. Oh, I didn't even know what happened, but I could see that coming.
You could see it coming.
I felt that one coming.
And, of course, what we have to remember, Dale Earnhardt Jr. also has 4 fresh tires as well.
It sounded to me like he was just saying, "You're in my way, young man."
Yep. You saw Brandon Ash there right behind Junior, one of the West Coast drivers in this event.
And that's what happens. You get frustrated and you take it out on the wrong guys. The 10 car, he got off up turn 7, and he's been coming down through the dirt ever since, trying to stay out of people's way.
He's going to be glad to get out of Sonoma, I think.
So. He's had a bunch of excursions.
He'll be one of the escape from Alcatraz drivers at the end of the day. Steve?
Gordon, Matt Kenseth, Dale Jarrett, and Tony Stewart. Then you've got Ryan Newman, Robbie Gordon, Kevin Harvick, Jeremy Mayfield, and Greg Biffle. By the way, Casey Kane back on the lead lap. Oh! Contact.
Almost contact. Who's that, Rusty? Oh, Rusty gets trouble.
Wallace is into the wall. And a big mess. Scott Riggs has crashed.
in front. Oh, man.
Terry Labonte in the 5, smoking and steaming.
Has no place to go with the 10 car.
Ward Burton.
Outside pole sitter Ward Burton. Heavy damage to that car.
Those cars look exactly the same.
It's close, but not where the speed is still not there. Looks like this is going to be about like that first lap. About as close as you can get.
Within 7 1/1000ths. A long list of folks that will head home tonight.
Tell you what, Terry, you talked about this car earlier in the night, started back in 2019.
Trouble turn 1, 2 cars hard in the wall. Quaffle is one, Scott Riggs is the other. 9th caution of the night. At the top of your screen.
Like Quaffle just went around, and when he did, he come right up in front of Scott Riggs in the 10 car, and then I think Jarrett spun out back here, just locking up the brakes.
Tony Stewart in trouble.
Scott Riggs, the 10 car, around he goes.
A lot of guys behind him.
Oh, man, that was close.
Caution is out. Riggs rolls away.
Let's take a look from Harvick's car, see what he saw. Looks like 97 ran up into him.
Well, look at that slide there on the 10 car.
And the 97 car.
Busch in the wall, the defending series champion. Caution is out at New Hampshire. One down already.
Oh, my goodness. But last year I said I think you can have one mulligan in the 10 races.
Hampshire, Kurt Busch, knocked out early. Kurt, on your way up pit road, where are you going? What's the message you want to deliver?
I don't know who the crew chief of the 10 is, so I just want to talk to him a little bit. The 10 car, we've had issues in the past, and this isn't the place to repay somebody.
Especially what's so involved here with this championship.
Yeah, it's pretty big, isn't it?
You can see he is delivering his message.
Wow, that was bad. His 2004 stats are this: 0 wins, 1 top 5, 2 top 10s, an average finish of 25.2, and would finish 29th in the standings. His 2005 stats are this: 0 wins, 2 top 5s, 4 top 10s, a pole, an average finish of 27.2, and would finish 34th. So he did better in the standings in a season where he missed a race compared to a season where he qualified for all 36. Now that is just horrible. So after the 2005 season, Scott Riggs would move over to Evernham Motorsports. Which my first question is, why? I mean, did he watch the same races that I watched back in the day? I mean, all he did was basically wreck every single week, and he missed a race in his rookie season. So basically, Ray Evernham was like, instead of wrecking their equipment, why don't you come wreck mine? Mine's is better equipment to wreck. I mean, I'm just gonna assume that. He would actually go on to have his best season of his career, scoring 8 top 10s and finishing 20th in the standings while scoring his first unofficial win in the Cup Series in the All-Star Open. But the next season, he would only score 1 top 10 and would miss 8 races. I mean, talk about falling off the map. After that season, Riggs was basically never given another shot in competitive equipment, and rightfully so, because he would probably just wreck it again. Riggs would go on to drive for a bunch of field filler teams in the Cup Series, and I think it's safe to say that his career is now officially over. His last Cup Series start was in 2013, and his last start across all 3 of NASCAR's top series was in 2014 in the Truck Series. And once again, that'll do it for another video. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Black Flags Matter. Catch you next time.